There we go. Now I'm live. Hey, Atu and Aquaba, welcome back to the channel. I was talking for a bit to the two people that just jumped on the live. Thank you for jumping on here. Let me know who you are. Comment below in the comment section and let me know who you are. Yeah. I was talking for a little while and I was just basically talking about moving to Ghana, moving to Africa. Yeah, so the topic of tonight's live is do you really want to move to Africa, repatriate to Africa, or do you want to exist between two worlds? So let me do this. I know what repatriate means, but I want to get Webster's definition. Or, so it says repatriate means send someone back to their own country. Ooh, that's interesting. Wow. So it says repatriation in a larger context refers to anything or anyone that returns to its country of origin, which can include foreign nationals, refugees, or deportees. So really, repatriation doesn't really fit in that context. It doesn't fit for African Americans because for African Americans, the United States is their country, because, if you were born here, then, it's your country of citizenship, your country of birth, your origin. But of course, your ancestors are from Africa, you're, American descendants of the enslaved. Um, yeah. So repatriation doesn't really fit, but a lot of Black people from here, from the United States, that are moving to Africa, saying I'm repatriating back to Africa. So I don't think that's the right word, because according to the definition here, yeah. Anyway, well, thank you for jumping on the live. To the four people that are on here, please go ahead and share this live. Comment below and let me know, where you're watching this from. But I'm just gonna take a sip of my Joe here, sip my coffee, and if you want to jump on and talk to me, please feel free to. I'm gonna copy the link, and let's have a lively discussion tonight. Yeah, that's the link right there. So if you didn't know, I put a poll out on a week ago, actually 8 days ago, that what's up, Big K? That I was changing the name of my channel. And the reason why is because, initially when I started this journey of uploading videos on YouTube on October 27th of last year, I wanted to introduce myself to the to the YouTube space, to people in this, people who are interested in moving to, checking out Ghana. Hi, Hazel. Thank you for checking out the live, Hazel and Big K. So yeah, so I wanted to introduce myself to folks who didn't know me, but now I'm a little bit more well known. People know a little bit about my story. If you don't know my whole story, you can scroll all the way down to my first video and check it out. Um, yeah, so now more people know King Anan Ghana, which was formerly my YouTube channel's name, but now I changed it to the Ghana Plug because my mission is to help create different avenues of plugging the African American community into Ghana. So that's why I call it the Ghana Plug. So I put out a poll. The three choices were the Ghana Plug TV, and Ghana Plug, and it seemed like folks decided on the winner of the Ghana Plug. So that's what it's going to be. So that's going to be the community that we're building. It's not just about me. That's why I removed the name. Ghana, and now it's the Ghana plug. So it's going to be the community that we're building of plugging the African American community into Ghana. And if you travel to Ghana at some point in your life, you know more about Ghana than other folks who are here, your friends, associates, your relatives. So you can tell them about Ghana, hopefully get them interested in Ghana, and you plug them into Ghana. So you can be a plug too. So you're gonna be a plug for the fellas plugs and the ladies plugettes. All right. So that's the community that we're building, and I hope is well received. But yeah, so the topic of discussion tonight is, let me know what your thoughts are. If you want to jump on and talk to me, please feel free to. You can click on this link. It's going to be in the comments section. You don't have to be on camera. If you want to be on camera, please feel free. I want to see your beautiful face. But if not, that's okay also. But if you have any comments, please go ahead and comment below and let me know. Let me know what's up. Let me know what your thoughts are on the topic tonight. So let me see. I just want to invite some folks on here. Yeah, let me know how everybody's doing tonight. How was your week? How was your week? Did you have a good week? Was it safe? I hope it was safe. Let's see. Yeah. Come on, y'all. Don't be shy. I don't bite. Comment and let me know what's going on, Big K. So which part of Atlanta are you in? Comment below if you've been to Ghana before or any part of Africa. I'd like to know what you thought about it. Was it your first time? How did you feel? Did you connect with just being there? Connect with the people there? Did you go to Ghana? Let me know. I want to get to know you guys, get to know who the people that have been following me. And again, if you want to jump on and talk to me, share your thoughts. There goes my man Danfi right here. Danfi is famous on my channel.
I don't
What's
know
up,
how
my brother?
famous. What's up, man?
Uh,
What's up?
you know what? Let me turn this on. All right.
I don't know how famous I am. I think some people want to fight me, man.
Nah, it's more like half and half, 50-50. Some people don't agree with you. Some folks do agree with you, but yeah, I've seen half and half.
I'd
How you
like to
doing,
talk to
brother?
the people who. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'd like to talk to the people who don't agree. If they can hop on, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, yeah. I like to engage with people that have not that don't just have the same opinions as me because it helps me grow, and I like to hear different perspectives.
Right, 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 right.
Yeah. So
Um,
yeah, I actually got this topic from you as as I said when I texted you, what you said in the Vanessa Canby video from months and months ago. That you kind of mentioned that it feels like some diasporans want to kind of exist between two worlds, like the folks that even have a heart for just staying in Africa or moving to Africa, they still have a little bit of their heart here, which is kind of
mhm,
understanding because they have family here. So
mhm,
nobody just wants to just move somewhere else and just forget about their family. But even for me, it's going to be difficult because I want to move to Ghana. That's my heart's desire at some point, in the foreseeable future. But it's going to be difficult because I've got children. I've got a family, wife and kids
mhm.
and whatnot. And I got to think about school for them and their education and their future. So uh, it would be a difficult decision to make. But I can't live in America forever. So
Right.
what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I understand. I think most people probably have those concerns, right? Most of the older generation. Um, And I think the stream cut. I think one of the reasons why some of the older cats are still here is because of security that they have here, as far as like healthcare, access to. I know in Canada, right? Like we have free healthcare and whatnot, so you have access to that. You have access to so many things that it's not to say that you can't have it in Ghana, but there's just not readily available, and it's going to
Yeah.
cost you some money, right?
Hmm.
Like even like when you're talking about your kids getting for the schooling and how it would be hard to transition to Ghana. I mean, if you want, I know that like education is free now for everyone, which is a great thing that president has done. But like the private schools, the really good schools are really expensive.
Very
My cousin
expensive.
had my cousin had her daughter in Ghana at one of like at a private school, and she said she's like as far as the education, the quality, she said it was tip top, but she's like I can't justify paying that much,
Hmm.
so she had to bring my niece back. She was in high school, she loved it, and she was living, and she was like it was like international school too, so it was like a mix of kids, and all that, but it was just way too much, right? Um, and those are the things that I think like everybody wants to have the best of both worlds. Do you know what I
Right.
mean?
Hmm.
Um, and like I can't blame them for wanting certain securities. I could totally understand that, especially if you're in your older age, and you want to make sure that that medical access is right there when you need it.
Yeah.
Um, I think that's a legitimate concern. I also think like I feel at least like older, you could have a really healthy life in Ghana as an older person. Like a lot of the life here, when you start to get older, is very stagnant.
Mm.
You're sitting around a lot. You retire at 65, and most people want to retire at 65 because you work so long.
Yeah.
And then you want to be done at 65. But life doesn't end at 65. There's a lot more things you could be
So it
doing.
doesn't.
Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And there's a lot of 65-year-olds that are strong and healthy, and you find that like when they retire, a lot of those people, like if they're not busy doing something else, they decline really fast. You know, and whereas like
Absolutely.
I feel like in Ghana, like it's such a very like active lifestyle. You're out, you're walking, you go to the market, you're doing so many things that will keep you busy. So you're not
Hmm.
just sitting there, and aging. Um, But yeah, like you said, some people want to have see their kids too. Like my parents are older now; they would like to move to Ghana. They're going to probably. I probably will be going there this Christmas, I think. Um, and I mean, they have their grandkids here and their kids here, so they're
Mm.
kind of torn. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they want to see their kids, they want to see their grandkids, and whatnot. But my appeal, when I said that, my appeal is that I have this idea of like, okay, if we're all gonna, the young people and these people that are interested in moving to Ghana, the African Americans, whoever it may be, um, go there, like actually go there and make a difference.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Immerse yourself within the country and the culture, um, and become an active, member of the society.
Hmm.
Uh, and part of that, like I think you said this in a video a while ago, you said it's important to go visit Ghana before you make plans to move.
Right.
Right. And I think that's so important because then you get to know what you're committing to.
Hmm.
Do you know what
That's
I
very
mean? Like,
important. Yeah.
yeah, it's very, very important that you know what you're committing to, because if you don't know and then you make that leap and jump over there, you start to get resentful. Like, or you start to look wanderly, like you're like, why did I leave that country? It's so much better. It's like you gotta know why you're there. You can't
Yeah.
be caught in like two worlds, or two minds to be like, I actually miss, you know, being
Mm.
in this part of the world and doing this and that and that. Um, yeah, so I don't know. I also think it's just Ghana is a very developing country, right?
Yeah.
So anybody that's coming from this part of the world, um, I think it's important to go with the mentality that I'm going to give. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to
Mhm.
give and I'm going to become part of the culture and whatnot. And not just like, because you also see a lot of people that are interested in like just how cheap life is. And I don't really know how cheap it's going to be for that long because the cross seems like it's getting pretty expensive.
Very expensive, yeah.
Do you know what
You
I
you
mean?
can you can live you can live affordably in some parts of Accra, but
Hmm.
it's not gonna be to your liking. Maybe as an American, it might not
Right,
be to your liking. Yeah.
right,
So it's
right.
kind of a choice that you have to make. Like, do I want to live kind of like how I lived in America and pay
Right.
more, or do I want to live, at a kind of a different lifestyle where I'm able to afford more things,
Hmm,
but
hmm,
it still
hmm.
might not be comfortable. So everything that you're going to go through in Ghana is going to be an adjustment,
Yeah.
psychologically, in the society, in all facets. It's
Hmm,
gonna be adjustment. As a parent, the thing that stuck out to me in what you just said is that like the schooling system, in Ghana.
hmm.
I think that yes, the schooling system is expensive, but there's so much value in going to a school where there's different kinds of people. You
Right.
learn more about yourself than just being here in a society where, for example, there might be just like you go to a school with just like maybe white people and then a few blacks, because everybody pretty much is the same. They're coming from the same type of background as you, because
Hmm,
most likely you might be middle class, right? Most people in this country are middle class, right? But in Ghana, if you go to a school that's like an international school, they're going to be people from different parts of the world. They're probably going to be Indians. They're going to be
hmm,
British people. They're going to be, maybe some Chinese people, maybe a couple of Americans sprinkled in. So you're going to learn how different people live. And, I think that there's some value in that. But that
hmm.
value, I don't think equates to how much you're paying, in
Yeah,
Ghana, because it's just, yeah, I've heard the school fees and it's just kind of ridiculous, you
it
know?
is. It really
Yeah.
is.
So
Yeah, and
yeah,
that's yeah,
it's kind of
that's very
crazy.
true. And yeah, there's a huge value to having different cultures all in the same classroom, right? Um, I think it's good. Yeah, I mean Canada is very multicultural. I mean Toronto might be one of the most multicultural cities in the world.
Mm,
So you do kind of get that here. You get like different people in your classrooms, right? But I know in the States where I grew up too, it was just black and white or Hispanic, right? There wasn't
hmm
anything really beyond that. And the crazy thing about America too is that you're not encouraged to maintain your culture from wherever you're coming from. Like you
mm.
assimilate into the American mentality,
Yeah, that melting
you
pot.
know? Yeah, it's just they just like it doesn't like you want to be American, whatever that is, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I know it's true. And I wish Ghana could have that public system where you don't have to fork up like thousands and thousands of dollars for your kids to interact with different minds, you
Mm,
know?
yeah.
Um, but that perhaps may be something that happens further down, right?
Right.
Once things get more established and you could have like a consistent tax system that could build schools and have that public arena where it's like good education, but yeah, you still have private schools. There's always going to be private schools. The rich always want to
Oh,
separate themselves from everybody else, right? Um,
right.
but but at least you can have like you can get to the spot where the public schools are just as adequate and if not even more free, in access to different people. Um,
Mm,
so yeah, I think you're right when you say it's like you like living in Ghana is an adjustment,
yeah.
you know. Um,
Yeah. There's someone that commented on that Vanessa Camby video that I put out a couple of weeks ago, that he wished that there was some kind of like cultural training, that like a
mm,
system of cultural training that diasporans can go through, that would put them like on a path to citizenship. I don't know if that's something that the government is working on. I know they're working on something, but you know how Ghana, things take a really long time to develop.
Yeah,
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 like
yeah.
in the United States, I'm American citizen, so I know this, but there's a book that you go through that you have to learn
Mhm,
American history, even if
mhm,
you then grow up here in the United States from when you were a child, as an
mhm.
immigrant. But for people that move to the United States in their 20s, they learn American history, and you get to know kind of how this country was built, and
Right.
then you take a test, and then you gain your citizenship. So I don't know. I don't know if it's like that in Ghana. For people who move to Ghana and are getting their Ghanaian citizenship. But yeah, that would be cool if there was some kind of cultural training like that.
And there should be. I think there should be. Canada's the same. You have to know about, and I think one of the land too. You have to know the different territories, or
Hmm.
in America, you have to know the different states.
Hmm.
All those things, at least have some form of like take some English courses to know how to speak English a bit, right? I mean, not
Yeah.
everyone
Yeah.
actually goes through that, but and I think it is important because you're going to a if this part of the world requires that because they want you to know what you're getting yourself into. They want you to know the country you're in. They want you to know the history that's within the country, whether it's
Yeah.
said from a white perspective or a black perspective. At least you're getting some perspective. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Right.
And I think that's very important for people that are deciding to repatriate or move over there. I think it's important for them to know, okay, this is Ghana. These are the different dialects. This is the most dominant one in this part. These are different parts of Ghana. Um, and perhaps even learn the language. I know it
Yeah.
seems hard for some of them, but it's always easier to learn a language when you're there,
Yeah.
right?
It helps. It helps to know the local language wherever
Mhm,
you are, especially if you're living there, because it helps to understand how people think.
right,
In Ghana, you can express yourself in Tree one way, but it doesn't necessarily convert into English. You
right,
know,
right.
my wife speaks Ghana, and I don't really understand her language that well. I know a little bit, but sometimes she will say something like on a conversation with one of her friends on the phone, and I'll ask her to translate it, and she was like, it doesn't really translate into English,
Yeah,
So
yeah,
even
yeah,
if I
yeah.
translated, like you wouldn't understand based on the context that she's having that conversation. So
That's very
it
true.
helps, yeah, it helps to understand the language wherever you live because you get to really understand how people think because
Right.
that language is native to that environment, and the Ghanaian environment obviously is different from the American environment, and you'll
Hmm.
understand why we do certain things the way that we do because obviously it is, yeah, it's just different you know
Yeah, and it's not to say that everything Ghanaians do is like the best of the best, or like the traditions or the cultures or just a little even like social cues that we have is the best of the best. But um, I heard this in like English class. It's like you can't break the laws of grammar if you don't know it. You have to know the grammar first before you can break the rules, right?
mm,
So it's the same with learning learning the culture and stuff. You can't come in there and impose this is wrong, this is outdated. You have to
yeah,
understand it before you start to challenge it, right? Be
yeah,
like, because then you see where people are coming from. This is
exactly.
why. This is why. Oh, they do these things like because like even little things like shaking an adult's hand with your right hand.
Hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like greetings, like and the
Right.
fact that like those little things you learn within the culture, right? And
and
unless you
and
have
you
some sort
learn,
of context,
yeah, you learn
yeah,
as a child, so it's ingrained in you and you understand it as you're growing up. But
exactly,
if you come
exactly,
to a country midstream and you're trying to learn the culture, like you can obviously learn it, but you might not really understand the root of it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
It's very
yeah,
true. It's
that's
very true. I again, I'm not, and I also think it's important. Like, okay, so if you're looking to get like a citizenship here in Canada or here in America, you have to be in the country for a significant amount of years,
hmm
right?
right.
And so I think it's also important. Like, if you want to become Ghanaian, you have to be there for a significant amount of years. Like, let's say 5 years or 3 years, right? Like, um, to show that actually I've spent time here. I've done whatever is needed to to live here. I know what I'm getting myself into. Like you said, I know the adjustment, and I'm going full on in, right? So
Right.
yeah, I think time spent there is another requirement that should be put up that should be put ahead of people.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, if anyone wants to jump on to this live, please feel free. The the link is going to be in the comment section. You don't have to be on camera to enter the conversation. Please feel free. This is Danfrey Parker. He lives in Toronto, Canada. He was born in Ghana just like me, but immigrated to the United States many, many years ago, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, and yeah, we met on another YouTuber's live just like this one, and back in January, and it was a really interesting conversation, and I did a reaction to it just recently. So someone else is jumping on. Big K, thank you for gonna add you to the stream. What's up, Big K?
All right, man. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. Doing good. How are you?
Fantastic, brother.
Good. I promised you last time I would join the live stream, so here I am.
All right. Good to have you on here. What's on your mind?
Well, I think that there is going to be, in my opinion, kind of a melding of the peoples, the American Black people and African people into one people over a period of time. So I think that there's going to be back and forth. And I think that if we look at this in terms of generations, I think that the people are going to reabsorb. I think eventually it'll be closer to a single group of people. Well, I'm saying that there's going to be a reintegration if you look at it in terms of generations, because the number of cross-cultural marriages that I see, cross-cultural relationships, certainly give me that impression. And then when I look at my own family history, my fourth great grandfather was born in Africa. He married to a woman who was born in North Carolina, and they reintegrated and formed a family and moved forward. And I think that same thing is going to happen as people encounter each other. It might take a generation or two, but I think that it's going to start to happen.
Wow, that's a really interesting thought. So are you saying that there's going to be like a kind of like a different culture that emerges out of relationships between, for example, African Americans and Ghanaians?
I think it's going to be kind of a merger into kind of a single identity. I think that people are going to have situations where they're going to have a grandfather who was, born in America and a grandfather who was born in Ghana. I think that that's where we're headed, because human nature is what it is. The generations, if you look at this thing as in terms of generations, I think that that's definitely the direction that we're headed in. You put young people in the same vicinity, they fall in love, they get married, they reproduce, and blend into a new people.
Right. Wow.
It's interesting. Yeah, I like what he's saying, because I think there's something to be taken from both sides, right? Ghanaians have a rich history and a rich culture that they can, almost like invite the diasporas or African Americans into. And I also think African Americans have something to give to Ghanaians in the sense of like being Afrocentric, like the value of like your Blackness, which like growing up in Ghana, I don't think most people, correct me if I'm wrong, most people are Afrocentric, because everybody else around you is Black. You don't really have the need to like value it and to honor it and to kind of like, pass that down to your children, right? Whereas like African Americans have.
I didn't know I was Black until I came to the United States.
Bro, even now, I'm like, when we went back to Ghana, like I think like last year or something, I realized I was like, okay, when I was here, like, and even in growing up in my home, both parents being Ghanaian, they never really gave me that kind of narrative. You know what I mean? Like, it just wasn't there until I got older and I started reading for myself and growing up in America, seeing how, Blacks are treated and all that stuff. And then I started seeing, okay, wow, like, like I can actually love, like like you said, you start to see that, oh, I am Black, because in this part of the world, you stick out, you're this,
right?
And then you start to, have that internal value for yourself, because you're not going to get it here easily, right. So that can be brought to the continent, to to Ghana, so that we begin to protect our own interest, and that builds a country because it builds our patriotism, it builds our self-image, and it builds like we believe in each other. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And we're not looking to this Western ideal or this Western way of like being or thinking, and we can actually extract our own value and our own principles. And you know what I mean? Like, so I think what he's saying is true. Like, as people as we intertwine, I think we can create something that's of like lasting value, you know, for both
Yeah,
peoples.
yeah, yeah. I never thought about it before, but that's a really interesting thought process, Big K, because you know, black people all over the world were pretty tribal. And, you know, just
Yeah.
like here in the United States, if you go anywhere outside your home, you know, you go into any establishment. For me, I don't know about you, but I'm always looking like, who's the black person over here? And I'm more drawn to them as opposed to other people. You know, I think a lot of black people probably think like that. If you go somewhere and you're the only black person, you're gonna notice it. You know, or you see another black person out of a whole bunch of white people, you're gonna notice him, obviously. So we're more naturally, I think, drawn to each other. And yeah, yeah, you're probably right. That's eventually going to happen. Afro Karib, you just joined. So thank you for joining the chat. Go ahead and share your thoughts. Afro Karib, you still there?
Hello. I'm having a
Hello?
little problem with my mic. I don't know if you can hear me
Yeah, I can
properly.
hear you.
Yeah, it's kind of on my end. I'm getting a lot of like feedback.
Oh,
Anyway,
okay.
greetings to you and your panel. I mean, your listeners. I just wanted to make a comment regarding people like myself who are from the Caribbean originally
Hmm.
and who, in specifically Jamaican, and we've retained a lot of people feel have retained a lot of the culture that was originally brought over from Africa in terms of some of the foods we eat, the way we prepare it, also some of the cultural practice, religious specifically, cultural practices that still endure in Jamaica, depending on where you are. If you're in the rural communities, you'll see a lot of communities that retain a lot of the same practices. I grew up seeing women carrying loads on their head, kata. They put the same, roll that fabric and carry stuff on their heads. And just the way we use certain phrases and terms,
Hmm.
we don't call it the same exact thing, but you have some of the same from the African language or languages. And I think it's probably difficult for African Americans to make the transition, more difficult for them to make the transition to, say, an African society, because they've basically spent their entire lives Western, growing up in a Western culture, because the colonials were remained in those territories in America, in particular, we're in the Caribbean. They left. We became independent, and even before we became independent, we were um, I don't want to use the word allowed as if they had to give us permission, but I think the culture um, that there was a blend of some European culture. However, a lot of the African culture remained in territories like Haiti and Jamaica, to some degree in a lot of the other Caribbean countries too. So I feel when you think about, for example, Jamaicans have this affinity towards Ghana in particular, because we've heard stories all our lives about Ghanaian ancestors who came from the territory known now as Ghana, which was then the Gold Coast, specifically the Akan tradition that exists in our maroon communities, where Tree was also spoken. And there are people living in Jamaica now who can speak Tree. If you go to those communities, and even some of the tools they have and musical instruments can be traced back to Ghana. So I feel in to Jamaicans in general feel feel that they have a connection to Ghana, and I think a lot of
Yeah,
them were
Afro
in Africa, they
Caribbean.
probably would be Ghana.
Yeah, your reception is not really clear, so you were kind of breaking up. But I did kind of get the gist of what you were saying in terms of Africans, historical Africans spreading out amongst the different parts of the world. And the thing about Africans, our culture travels. It travels a great deal. I mean, just think about now here in the United States, where in some neighborhoods, like, well, okay, let me put it this way: in some corporate Fortune 500 companies, they do a lot of research before they put out like different products. I want to give you, for example, the Jordan brand. When before they put out a product or before they put out a sneaker or even Nike, they look at what the young black man in the hood, quote unquote, is wearing, what type of things they're into, and that's what they adapt their marketing, or they pattern their marketing towards the rest of America. So black people set the trends pretty much all over the world. Our culture has traveled all over the world, obviously. So you're right. Back in February, I actually interviewed on my channel, and you can check it out below. There's a gentleman named Neil Nelson. He's the CEO and founder of a publication, a media publication called the Atlanta Black Star. He's from Jamaica, and he's been to Ghana several times. And he was telling me about Queen Nanny and the Maroons, and all those people were from Ghana. They're part of the enslaved that were moved to Jamaica. So yeah, you're definitely right about about African culture and and all that. Um, Big K, did you have anything else to add?
No, that's all I have for today, man.
Okay, well, thank you for
Okay.
jumping on. I really
Okay.
appreciate your input.
Yeah, I also think the Caribbean, cuisine
Sorry,
is
it's
very close to
like
Ghanaian cuisine.
it's
Hmm.
You know,
you just said.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Yeah, Neil Nelson was telling me about the foods that they have there. Like, for example, yam and Gary. They
hmm
have something similar in Jamaica.
well, rice and peas is like wache to me. Do you
Yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean? Even
yeah,
like the goat curry goat, like we eat goat. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that is very similar. Yeah, I really like Caribbean cuisine. I know she makes good points.
yeah. Afro Carib. Comment on the in the comment section and let me know. It sounds like you're from Jamaica based on what you're saying, but yeah, just put it in the comment section if you are. Anybody else want to join the live? Please let me know. I'm gonna post the link. You don't have to necessarily be on camera, but yeah, let me know. But yeah,
Yeah.
so what was I even gonna say? I kind of lost my train of thought. Um, yeah,
What do you think about? I was going to ask you, what do you think about? Because I've been thinking recently. I'm watching all these vlogs on YouTube and people that are, you know, are kind of promoting just Ghana and properties and all that stuff. And it's like, oh, come, and land is like this much and that much, and then it's like it's an appeal and almost like a um, inviting the diaspora to
mm,
come home and invest and get property. And then I think about, okay, well, what about the people in Ghana that are, working whatever menial jobs they have? Can they afford, property and the housing? If it starts, because the prices are going really high,
yeah,
like, and I'm like, how does somebody in Ghana afford that? You know what I mean?
yeah,
And what can the president and the governing bodies do to protect that? Okay, yes, we want the diaspora to come home. We want them to be in this, in our culture and to live. But how do we do that without them skyrocketing property value, and all these things that the locals will have a hard time ever getting owning anything without them skyrocketing property value. Do you know what I mean? Like how do we ensure that doesn't happen?
Sudi, can you please turn down your mic?
Sorry?
Can you turn down? Is that your mic?
No, it's not mine. Mine is off.
Can you please turn down your mic?
Sorry?
Can you turn down? Is that your mic?
No, it's not mine. Mine is off.
It's somebody. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not me.
I think you have to turn down your
Wherever you're watching from. It's somebody.
Yeah, you have to turn that down. If you're watching from somewhere else, you have to turn that down and speaking to whatever you connected with.
Wherever you're watching from.
Yeah, you have to turn that down. If you're watching from somewhere else, you have to turn that down and speaking to whatever you connected
Well, the TV is off because I'm watching on the TV is off. The laptop, I'm watching on the laptop right now.
Okay, so instead of watching it from YouTube, go in the StreamYard link.
Yeah, that's where I am right now.
Okay, so instead of watching it from YouTube, go in the StreamYard link.
Yeah, that's where I am right now.
Yeah, I think you're watching it from YouTube.
Okay, just 2 seconds, yeah? I don't want to...
Yeah.
Let me...
Yeah, but yeah, I muted him. What I was gonna say? Oh, what was I gonna? What was the point that you just made?
I was saying, like, how do we protect the interests of the local people from not having to get into this place where they can't own anything because property values just skyrocketing because of the interest of people coming in, right?
Yeah. So for me, it's one. I don't think the government can really do anything about that. It's actually a larger issue, which is systemic to Africa. And I think the main thing is that, for one, you're right. The property values are too high. Okay, so what I think developers are trying to do is they're trying to attract the diaspora to come invest in Africa. And that makes sense from a business standpoint because as a business owner or a real estate developer, your most important priority is your bottom line. You want to make as much profit as possible, and I can't blame people for that. But the larger issue is the lack of a middle class in Ghana and in many African countries, and the cause of that is lack of industrialization. There are no industries in Africa. I mean, there's some, but it's very minuscule. There are no industries in Ghana or even in Nigeria. It's happening little by little, and we're gonna get there eventually. But it needs to speed up because people don't have jobs. People go to college. They get engineering degrees. They get we're told from childhood, be a lawyer, be a doctor, be an engineer. But who is gonna be the business owners, right? If everybody's trying to get engineering and law degrees and doctorates and medical degrees, where are they going to go get the jobs from? The jobs are not there. That's why people can't afford land, because there's no. If more people have the monetary means to be able to afford the land prices will come down. At this point, there's a market, but that market is only is being marketed towards the products and services are being marketed towards the African American community and people in Europe.
Yeah, I know this. Go ahead.
Those are the people that have the monies that have the monies that could potentially even afford. And at some point, people here are worried that they're being priced out.
Right.
Yeah.
That's actually happens here in Toronto. The foreign buyers. So we get the government has introduced like a foreign buyers tax, right? Where they put in massive tax on the properties here to kind of discourage foreign buying. But the people that are coming here buying from China or whatever have enough money that they don't care. They'll still put the money through and whatnot. And I think maybe this might be too simplistic, but I think it's probably important that the government gets involved in some way, in the sense of like, okay, you want to buy? Okay, fine. Maybe you want to buy a $50,000 property and build a home and everything included in that price or whatever. Let's slap on an extra $15,000, and that $15,000 gets allocated into a pool of money that actually creates jobs for people to build affordable living for people, for the locals, right? So anybody coming in. So what's $65,000 when you're really going to be paying $300,000 a year or more? I mean, here in Toronto, you're probably going to be paying $1 million for a house that's 50 years old.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's extra $50,000 to somebody coming there? And never mind the fact that if we're taxing that, that's going towards, it's being pulled towards helping the locals, right? And once you do that, you give initiative. And I know our people, sometimes you can't really give initiatives like, okay, say I go to a construction company that's sourced by the government and say, hey guys, this group, you're this construction, we're giving you these jobs, make the best buildings from this money that we're getting. We don't know what they're going to do with that money. Do you know what I mean? Like, we don't know. And we don't know if they're going to use the best materials. We just don't know, and that's another issue. That's
a whole nother issue.
But this is what I envisioned, right? Like, so as people come back, the people that are there aren't being neglected.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like, they're also being cared for and looked after.
Yeah. Eventually, it's going to start becoming like here in most major cities in the United States, or even probably Canada, where, what's the terminology? Where they come and they buy all the old property and they redevelop it.
Gentrification.
Exactly. That's is probably going to start happening in a few years in a place like Accra.
Yeah.
Yeah. Suni, go ahead.
Well, I really came a little bit late, and
it's okay. You're right on time.
That I was on Facebook and I saw that you were live in 2 hours, and then I said, let me just check. Well, yeah, I'm here. The thing is, let me just introduce myself. By the way, we're in the same group of African Living America, and also I am more into investment and relocation guidance to Africa, because I've got experience. I've lived in Toronto for 2 years. I've been in America, so I have an experience. We call it business travel in America. So I did some business there, and I'm here in the UK. So I've been around, and in Africa, I've been in East Africa, Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, Congo, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Burundi, so I've been in over 16 countries in the world and 50 cities. So I've got this experience from what we say the African world and the rest of the world, and I always love to share my knowledge, different perspective, and in more practical way, from a realistic point of view. There are so many challenges that's happening with Africans. When I say Africans, I mean Black people all over the world, trying to come back to the motherland. But sometimes we don't face the real issues. We don't face the real elephant, because I've tried to repatriate 2 times in Africa and I failed. So I've learned a lot of mistakes. I know I did a lot of mistakes. And from my experience, number one was budgeting. When you are you're in Canada or America or here in Europe, and you think that things are very, very cheap in Africa, and then you might find yourself with $10,000 and you think it's a lot of money. Yeah, it's for some people it's a lot, but when you're traveling, if you don't budget well, you will find that money will just go just like this. Because you want to go in a nice restaurant, you want to go in a nice hotel, you find cheap stuff, like in Uganda, in Kampala, for instance, there are always market for tourists. So you find something for $2, you think, that's nothing. $3, that's nothing. $5, that's not. At the end of the day, you're not sticking to your budget. And at the end of the day, you just find yourself, oh my God, what happened? You know, the most important thing I always say is the planning. You know, the planning is really, really, really important. Financial planning. And also the cultural integration is very, very important, because many people, they have this this aspiration, I want to go to the motherland. And when you're there, there is this cultural shock. I will just give you an example. It's not like putting down the motherland, but things can be very, very slow sometime in Africa. You can get an appointment at 9 o'clock, and you know, I'm just talking from my own experience. Yeah.
Of
I had
course.
these investors from America who wanted to put some millions of dollars, and they had to meet the governor somewhere in Africa. I don't want to name the country. So I was their interpreter, because this is a French, where I went, it was a French country, and I speak French. So I was the interpreter. We had the appointment at 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock, we were there. 10 o'clock, the governor was not there. 11 o'clock, he was not there. 12 o'clock, he was not there. And then they just told us that he was not even in town.
Wait. Did you say millions of dollars?
Millions of dollars. These are investors. They wanted to, there was 5,000 houses they had to build. Do you understand? And what happened? So I told them that they should just relax. I was coming, at that time, I was coming from the UK. Those were Americans, they were whites. And, you know, they were like a little bit impatient. I told them, look, things move a little bit slow here, you know, so you have to, you know, you have to be a little bit patient. But it's like you are in Accra right now, right? And then they tell you that the governor is in Kumasi. Yeah, you know, it's the long way. Maybe
Right.
Maybe I don't know if it's 6 hours, 7 hours. Yeah, that will happen.
Yeah,
The governor
like that,
was not there, so for him to come, it will take 4 hours flight to come where we are. So they instructed one of his secretary to speak to us on a deal that cost millions of dollars. So my point there is always this cultural shock. On the governor's side, he thought that that's normal. You know, I'm a very, very important person. I'm very busy. I had a meeting with the president, but you don't understand the impact on the investors.
Yeah.
You get me? So, and that problem always happened to many Africans from the diaspora. When you get into the motherland, if you don't study the culture very well, you'll be confused.
Yeah.
You'll be really, really confused.
And that leads to frustration.
Yeah. And after some time, you start thinking, oh my God, did I make a mistake? You understand? The customer service can be also very, very bad.
Non-existent.
Yeah. Sometimes it can be very, very bad. But people will find it normal that you can go in a restaurant and you wait for 1 hour. I'm not saying all of them, but you understand what I mean. You're in Accra right now, you know, and I'm speaking from my own experiences. Sometimes you go to a place, things are very, very slow and they're expensive, you know. Yeah. So you can be confused on the culture, you know, and you can also make mistakes on the budget, financial budget. And one of the biggest mistakes that most people they do is to assume that you will just live free in Africa without doing any business. You know, you have to have a plan, a business plan. Are you just gonna are you gonna have a business on the ground? Did you do a research, you know, to know what are the needs? You will not just pretend you are in Canada or you are in America and you think, I'm just going to open a clothing store. People will like it. No, you have to ask yourself what Ghana needs, or what Tanzania needs, or what Gambia needs. You know, you have to know what are the needs of the country. Based on that, then you can compare, you know, can I do this business? You understand? You do
Right.
a little market research on the business, right? There is another solution that I've found, because I know many of us struggle on access to capital. Money is the issue, you know.
Yeah.
When we talk about business setup, most of us, yes, we want to move, but we don't have the capital necessary to sustain us when we are there, and that can cause a lot of frustration. The advantage of being in America or in Canada, you have access to so many other opportunities. You can be in the motherland doing business on the stock market, on cryptocurrency,
Yeah.
while I've seen other community, they do that. You know, I'm in so many investors group of other community who are in Dar es Salaam, for instance, who are in Nigeria, for instance, or in Kenya, living large, but they invested their money on a stock market, on a cryptocurrency, and, you know, while they're trying to adapt to the new business. So it's like they have like 3 or 4 sources of income, you know. Yeah, so yeah, I think the issue, from what I read on your post, the issue of being in the two worlds, should I stay or should I go back? The real issue is most of the time money,
Mm.
you know, most
Yeah.
of the time. Not that we don't have the money, but the budgeting is the issue. The budgeting, you just travel and you know, no plan,
Yeah.
nothing, and then after 2 months, 3 months, you don't have money, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Sudi, where are you from?
Originally from Congo,
Okay.
Democratic Republic of Congo. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me pose this question to you. Do you think that if you move to Ghana, for example, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that you should make a commitment, as long as you have the financial resources to sustain yourself, like you're saying? Do you
Yeah.
think that um, diasporans should make a commitment, like, look, I'm here in Ghana to stay. I'm gonna find something to do above all else, whether the ship sinks, I'm still gonna stay here and commit to Ghana and make it work.
Well, let me just be more practical on that question. Yeah. I think for someone who has never been to Ghana and just assume you just go to Ghana and move, it will be a big mistake.
Right, right.
So there are steps that you have to take before you move to any country. In this example, we're talking about Ghana. The step you have to take, you visit first. You visit Accra, you visit Kumasi. You know, you need a local support system. Make friends, you know. See around. If you have a business idea, just check if that business idea will work. Look at the culture. Look at how expensive things are. You know, after 1 month, go back. Don't just assume you just move after one trip. No. Make maybe two trips or 3 trips, and
Right.
then you say, okay, I think, because what you read on the internet or on YouTube is not enough. You have
Mm.
to be on the ground, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my answer, visits, yeah, maybe a couple of times, you know, to adjust to the culture, make friends, get local connections, have a clear business idea. Then you can say, well, I think I can make a move, but don't just
Yeah.
move. Yeah. Don't just
Yeah, I
move.
always caution people that, I see on the internet say, oh, I'm moving to Ghana because I saw the year of return. Everything looks so exciting,
Yes,
looks
yes.
great and looks cool.
Mm-hmm.
The first question I always have you visited before?
Yes, yes,
Because you want, like you said, you want to visit, you want to explore, go through the tours of the, Kwame Nkrumah Mausoleum, go to the slave dungeons, go to Kumasi, just do the touring thing. Go with a tour group the first time, go with
yes,
a tour group the first time, and then you can go back another time. And then at that time, go by yourself because you know the lay of the land. So go by yourself, smell the wache in the streets and all that, get a feel for Ghana and build some relationships,
yeah,
and then you start thinking, is this a place that I really want to put my investment and resources in? Because you might not want to. Africa is not
yeah,
for everybody. It is for
yeah,
some people, but it's not for everybody,
yeah,
because it's
yeah,
going to take, you have to deprogram yourself from
yeah,
America,
yeah,
because you
yeah,
can't go there with your westernized mindset and try to apply to Africa. It's not going to work. The Africans there are going to run
mm,
you out of, it's
mm-hmm,
sad to
mm-hmm,
say. It's sad to
mm-hmm,
say, but it's the truth. They will
yeah,
run you out of Ghana. I mean, ever since I've been here in America, my father, who's been living here for probably 50 years now, he's always told me over the years he has friends that moved to Ghana and ended up coming back here to the United States
yes,
because they
yes,
just they just couldn't adjust. They've lived here for so
yeah,
long and they couldn't
yeah.
adjust. Right?
The
So
culture,
even
the
Ghanaians,
culture,
yeah,
the
even
culture is.
Ghanaians, they become Americanized, and then when you try to move back, it doesn't work for you.
There are so many things that I mean. There are many differences that I don't know if this is the right word, but for the sake of our understanding, I'll just use the first word and the third word countries, right? There are so many differences that people will need to know. Not in the, not, I'm a Pan-Africanist, but we have to be realistic sometime,
Yeah,
In general, not all African countries are doing well. So there are so many challenges in terms of, for instance, internet access. You understand? You see, for instance, right now, I'm not using data. I'm using Wi-Fi. I don't have to check on all the time whether I still have data, how much money I still have. No, it's just, it's not even something I'll think about. But most of my friends, when I talk to them, you see, oh, my data is gone. You understand?
wait,
And
you're in the UK
sometimes,
right
yes, I'm in the UK. Yeah.
now? Okay.
Yeah. Some of my friends in Africa, you'll be talking to them and they will say, oh, my data is gone. I
Yeah,
have to recharge. That is one, you will understand that is one of the biggest difference that we have. And if you don't adjust to that, it's a simple example, but it can cost a lot. For
right. And
instance,
and
I'm
there. Let me just interject for a second. Therein lies a business opportunity.
For instance, me, I'm a business consultant, right? And I've got a lot of online businesses, and I use internet a lot, right? If I don't have access to the internet, I'm in serious trouble. For instance,
Yeah,
my investment in cryptocurrency, my investment in the stock market. If I have to do a Zoom meeting, if I have to do um, um, live like this, for instance, if I don't have internet access, that is a serious issue, right?
yeah,
There is another thing that many people, they don't assess what are their needs from the beginning. For instance, you want to set up a business in Ghana, but what business, what is this? Do you have a system that you have set up to support yourself? By system, I mean all the needs for your business. How do you how are you going to supply to all your needs? You understand? Like, do you have access to chambers of commerce, for instance? Because you want to be a business person, but you are not even, you don't go to events to for networking with local people there. it's gonna be issue, because when you meet local people, they will show you the way. You understand? You make friends. It will be easier. That is just one of the example. You know, you might need maybe an accountant. You know, a reliable accountant. You might need a reliable immigration lawyer. You might need a reliable logistic
Man,
operation
there's so
company.
many
You know,
obstacles, brother.
you understand? So you have to think first before you move. You have to think, did I set up a system to support me? Because if you have a support system, it will be easier. You know, okay, I have a contact for an immigration lawyer, a reliable one. I have a contact for the Chamber of Commerce, a reliable one. I have a contact for in case there is any issue. I always see some of our brothers having issues in Africa, but you have to think, if anything happened to me, do I have a contact I can call to complain and solve this issue? You understand? So I don't want to monopolize
No,
the
no,
platform,
it's
but
okay.
my point is, you know, a support system is very, 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 very important, you know, because if you have any issue, I mean health issue, do you have a hospital, a private doctor that you can rely on in case there is any security issue? Do you have a security company that you can rely on? Or, you know, do you have any contact to protect you? You understand? Yeah, and some other businesses needs, like if you want to set up a company, do you have a reliable contact that can guide you through all those things? You know, that will save your time and save your money, you know. Yeah, so very, very important, very, very important to have a system, yeah, to make the move very, very smooth. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you're definitely right. Danfi, go ahead and take it over. I'm gonna come back in just a couple of minutes, okay?
Yeah.
Oh, I think he's stuck. He's
Yes,
frozen.
I think he's frozen.
Yeah, yeah. Business in Africa, or just, you know, living there, period. It definitely requires a mind shift because it's completely different culture, business
Yeah.
culture. The systems are not in place like here. I'm gonna share a little bit about my life, but this afternoon I was talking to my 14-year-old daughter about
Yeah.
she wants me to drive her to school, and her school is about 5 minutes away from where we live. And I was telling her that I don't mind driving her to school, but I believe that she needs to take the school bus, because
Yeah.
there's a reason. She asked me, like, why does she have to take the school bus when the school is only 5 minutes from where we live? And
Yeah.
I told her, I asked her this question. I was like, do you understand why I'm here? Why I was, I asked her, do you understand why you were born in this country? And she said,
Yeah.
because you're here. And I was like, okay, so why am I here? And she said, because obviously my grandpa has been living here. And I was like, why did he come here?
Yeah.
And I had to explain to her, he came here because America is so-called the land of opportunity.
Yeah.
But why is America the land of opportunity? And I explained to her, because there have been systems that have been put in place in this country that makes this country just work. One of
Yeah.
them is the school bus system. The
Yeah.
school
Yeah.
bus system, it comes and picks you up at a certain time because they want you to
Mhm.
be on time to school.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
it teaches you discipline and consistency, right?
Mhm.
It teaches
Mhm.
you got to wake up at a certain time. You got to shower and get dressed at a certain time, and make
Yeah.
sure you get to the bus stop at a certain time, so the bus can pick you up and take you to school, to be at school at a certain time.
Yeah.
All of those things, if you keep doing it consistently, it teaches you something. And she didn't
Exactly.
understand. Yeah, as a 14-year-old, she didn't understand that. But
Mhm.
eventually, later on in life, when you
Yeah.
look back, you'll
Mhm.
understand, yes, it's taught me something.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
those are like, that's one of the systems that a lot of African countries don't have, that are lacking, that don't teach the citizens certain things in the future. And it manifests, that lack manifests itself into some way later on in the future. And
Yeah.
we're not able to do certain things. We're not able to create certain structures for ourselves. you know?
And that is the power, and that is the power of how they call it, the power of balance, you know. Yeah, not because not because I'm weak and you're strong in one area means that you become superior to me, because
Right.
your weakness might be my strength and my weakness might be your strength. What I mean is this: there are many, many things we learn here in the first world or rich countries, you know, that are opportunities for us in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
I will give you an example. You know, digital marketing, for instance. Yeah. There are some countries in Africa, like I was talking to some of my friends in Tanzania, and they will tell you, oh my God, there's so many people they teach digital marketing, but they don't really master, you know, this skill.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be a weakness there, but for you who is in America, who knows about Facebook ads, who knows about YouTube ad, Google ad, video production, who knows about SEO, SEM, who knows about how to set up an online business, about cryptocurrency, stock market. You can just take that opportunity. You go to that country, you create like a training school where you teach people all those skills and you make
Right.
money. So that's what I was saying. You know, it looked like it's a weakness over there, but for you who are here, it's an opportunity. Another example I'll give you, because I am, as I told you, I'm an investor and relocation guide. So what I do on ground research on opportunities that are available in Africa and then present to people like you and me, you know, so as we can use them on our own benefit. One example is there are a lot of construction, for instance, in Tanzania at the moment. Not only Tanzania, but many, many countries, even Ghana as well. There is um, you know this construction truck, you know the dump how they call it, dump truck, you know. If you buy here that dump truck here in UK, it's around £10,000, which is, I don't know how much it will be in US dollar, but £10,000. But that one you can make around $250 a day if you put it on hire in Tanzania, for instance. $250 a day, just hiring your dump truck, will be let's say 7,500. No, 250 times 30. Yeah, $7,500 that you can make just over a dump truck. You
A
know,
dump truck
and
costs £10,000. That sounds pretty inexpensive
I,
for a dump truck.
well, I was checking. No, those are second-hand one, not a brand new one. I was checking.
Even that, like even like a 5-ton truck here,
Yeah.
a used one is going for 50 grand. That's just
Well,
used. That's not even
no,
new.
this information, I was checking it yesterday and today. I was even surprised. A dump truck will cost around £10,000, which is, I don't know what's the rate at the moment, but you can convert, you know. That's minimum, you know. It can go a little
About
bit,
13 grand, 12, 13 grand.
yeah, it can go a little bit higher, but
Mhm.
definitely a second-hand one, you have an opportunity there to make $250. This information is a ground information. It's not something I'm making. I've researched on that and I've researched on the internet. They told me there is a lack of dump truck. Yeah. So you can just make available your dump truck and make it for hire, or they can contract for 6 months or 1 year, you know. You make a lot of money out of that. we were talking about weakness and strength. You know, lack of dump truck can be also your opportunity here to buy and put it there, but you have to take that sacrifice and put yourself to business on ground. You know, it's just one of the example, really. Of showing the kind of opportunities that are available to us who are here. You know, in Germany, in fact, in Germany, dump trucks are very, very cheap. Here, it's a little bit expensive, but in Germany, those trucks are a little bit cheaper than what I just said. You know, you can just do a little research, but you'll find that they're not that expensive that people would think. There is a big port. There is Dar es Salaam port that serve Rwanda, Congo, Uganda, Kenya, Zambia, many, many countries over there. And if I tell you how much the driver told me you can make in 3 days if you have a Scania, 2 second, let me just check the name of
Tina, I
Scania.
have to go. So thanks for having me on the stream.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Nice
I
talking.
appreciate you,
See you
bro.
guys. Yeah.
All right.
See ya.
All right. See, yeah. So if you make available a Scania that can take containers from country to country, a Scania truck, you'll be making a lot of money. Yeah. So what we think are challenges in Africa can be opportunities for us. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And that's what I've always tried to impress upon people that, follow me on YouTube and watch my videos. Is like, go to, wherever you want to go to, look at the lay of the land and look at the opportunities. I mean, even a child can see opportunities. My kids, my two daughters, the first time we took them to Ghana, they saw many different things that were deficient in Ghana, and they kept saying, "Daddy, like, how come they don't have this here? How come they don't have that there?" So you'll see what's missing, and you can find a way to monetize it if if you're entrepreneurial minded. You definitely can find a way to monetize it. Is it going to be easy? No, but it's going to be worth it, because for me, I'm not going to Africa to create for myself. I'm going to create for my descendants.
Yes.
It's not just about me. It's not going to be about me. It's going to be about my descendants. Because if we always think about our comfort, we're never really going to get anywhere. There's no growth in comfort.
Yes.
The growth comes from being uncomfortable. That's where you really grow, and you're going to be able to find ways to monetize things and just become a productive member of any society. That's what it's about. America is already set. America, Europe, the structures are in place. Yes, you can make it. America is the land of opportunity. You can make it in America, but everything is pretty much has been done already and has been created in this country. But in Africa, our brother Woodamaya is always saying, Africa is a virgin. It's a virgin territory.
And that is true. And that is true. And that is true. So many challenges that can be turned into opportunities.
Exactly.
And some challenges, they don't need the government to solve them. It's just the willingness of people, like you and me, and say, well, look, we have issues of, some places have issues of lack of electricity. What can I do about that? You make money on that. See, like, how many Chinese are in Africa right now? See how many Indians are in Africa right now? How many Lebanese and Arabs are in Africa, and English and Canadian and Germans and, Japanese and everybody,
I know you've traveled to Africa recently, and I know you can tell me this for a fact, that on the airplane, there are more white people going to Africa than there are black people.
You know what? The last time I was traveling from Toronto Pearson Airport I was going to Uganda, Kampala. So from Toronto, we had to pick some passengers in New York, we have many Americans going to Africa who are white, and here we are scared of going to Africa, and people are making the move because most of other communities, what they do their research correctly. So when they go, they've already packaged themselves, and that's why most of the time it's easy for them, because they have all information that they need. They have a support system that will help them when they're there. They know the kind of opportunities that are available. Boom. Yeah, we have to that fear, of
we
the
got to get it
unknown.
out of the way.
Yeah, we always have that fear of the unknown, and that is the issue. We have to take that off, and take calculative risk, yeah.
Because that fear holds you back. And for people who are entrepreneurial minded, you got to set aside that fear and just go for it. Because anything that's been created in this world, there was a certain risk to it. But that's how business is. If you're trying to create something, you're trying to build something, there's, like you said, you got to take that calculated risk. I mean, is everything going to be perfect? No, but
Yeah.
nothing that's been created in this world was ever perfect,
Yeah.
except the world. But, the Almighty created this world and he created it in perfection.
Yeah,
And
and
we're
there are
not,
many advantages as well that people should know about. Like here, I've got this British passport. I know you have maybe you've got an American passport, which is many people will not they will not know what that means.
it holds value.
Not only value but security. Yeah, because I've seen that. I went with my dad to Dubai, right? And we used to do business together. So we will go and import stuff from Dubai and sell them in Congo. I gave my passport. He gave his passport. He has a Congolese passport. I had a British passport. They gave me 2 months. They gave him 2 weeks. And he's been going to Dubai for more than 20 years, right? This means that we have access to many countries without hassle. Then, this means you can be in America. You can supply things coming from Dubai, from China, from Turkey, from Canada. If you need to travel to India, you will just travel. It's not really. That is one of the advantages as well of people should know how to use those passports. You get me? Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah. If anyone else wants to jump in on the live, scroll up in the comment section. The link to talk to me or Sudi is on there. You don't necessarily have to be on camera, but yeah, I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on the topic of discussion of, if African Americans can really repatriate to Africa, or can they live between, or do they want to live between two worlds? And Chrissy said many never travel to visit the continent. Yeah, and because white people, or the people that brought Africans to this continent over time, they wanted to separate Africans from the enslaved from the continent because they saw the value in the resources in the continent. So yeah, that's what happened. I mean, we're all happy that finally over the last few years and within the last decade, progressively, African Americans in the diaspora have been seeing the value in Africa. Just recently over the last few years. But don't sleep, because the others are still going there, because they say probably only 20% of the resources in the land in Africa have been used. They're still close to 80%. Yeah. So when the creator made this world, I don't know what people believe in, but when this world was made, all the value was put into Africa. Everything, all the, the gold, the diamond, the bauxite, the coltan that's made
Yeah,
to use, that's used to create these iPhones and Android smartphones. They
yeah,
all come from where you're from, the Congo and that area, you
yeah,
know.
yeah. True, true,
Yeah.
true. Yeah, yeah. I think,
So
I
let's
think,
not let's not miss the boat.
yeah, yeah. I think people should at least visit. You know, that is the starting point. It's really important to visit, get that experience. Get out those myths about Africa being poor. Africa is very, very dangerous, and it's very, very expensive. Yeah. So it's important to visit first. And
Right.
for me, I'm more into the business travel. Don't just travel to take pictures and just go on a nice restaurant. Or no. Look for opportunities, and
Yeah.
there are ways on and you there are ways you have to look for opportunities. Like I said about events, there are always there are networking events, trade exhibitions, and that's where you find business opportunities. But when taking pictures is good, but you can do that while discovering,
Right.
yeah, and then making contact with people. Yeah,
Right. Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, for anybody, it's natural to, just, like you said, take pictures or whatnot the first time you visit Africa because you don't really know the culture. You don't
yeah.
really know how to connect with people. So
Mm-hmm,
you want to go there just to experience the land of your ancestors. That's what
mm-hmm,
most people want to go there for. But
mm-hmm,
if you do want to go back the second time, that's
mm-hmm.
when you want to network. You want to
Yeah.
try to meet people. You want to try to get to know people,
Mm-hmm,
find out where the opportunities exist
mm-hmm.
and just try to not everybody's business minded and that's okay. You
Yeah,
want to just go there to live in Africa, but for those who are entrepreneurial minded, there are opportunities that exist in Africa that you can really create a legacy for yourself. Recently I came across a video of a lady who she is African American woman that I guess she and her husband lived outside Boston, Massachusetts.
yeah.
So her husband is Ghanaian,
Mm-hmm,
and as they got married, they had a child. The child happened to be a boy, and the
yeah.
woman said she didn't want to raise a black son in America. She
Mm-hmm,
said that if it was a girl, then they would stay here, but if it was a boy, they were gonna move to Ghana. So
mm-hmm.
guess what? They moved to Ghana, I
Yeah.
believe, over 20 years ago, and
Mm-hmm,
now that couple has they started a tour company,
yeah.
giving tours to that diaspora. They started
Mm-hmm,
in Ghana, going through different Ghanaian communities, Kumasi, Accra, and those type of
yeah.
places.
Yeah.
And then now they go to Benin, they go to Togo, they go to Ivory Coast, they go to the Gambia. So they're
Mm-hmm,
they're making it, and they also have a limo company.
yeah. Yeah.
So they're doing something.
Yeah.
They're creating value for the community, and they created a legacy for their son, who is in his 20s right now, who can
Yeah.
expand the business creatively as he's growing up. You
Yeah.
know, so they created an opportunity for themselves. Would they
Yeah.
be able to do that here in America? Maybe, but
Yeah.
it actually means more to me if you do it in Africa because you're doing something for the people. You're
And
creating
you're
value, and
creating jobs. You're creating jobs as
exactly.
well. Yeah, and
Exactly.
it's
And
bringing
that's what
economic
Africa
growth.
needs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's what
bringing
Africa
economic
needs.
growth. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So anybody can do that. I'm sure they struggle just like in any business. When you start, you're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna
Yeah.
struggle, but eventually it's like anything. I compare anything to riding a bicycle, learning how
Yeah.
to ride a bike. You're
Mm-hmm.
gonna fall, but as long as you keep going, eventually you'll find your rhythm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's yeah, wonderful. I think I'm just gonna leave. It's almost uh 10 past 1 here. So
Oh, okay. Yeah. Thank you for jumping on. I've been
yeah.
seeing you in the group. So
Yeah. I
I
was
know.
on Facebook, and I just saw, I said, oh, okay. I just wanna you know this is the way just to appreciate what you're doing, to the
Thank you, brother.
community.
Thank you,
Yeah.
brother.
And
I appreciate you.
yeah, we'll be in touch.
Yeah,
Yeah. All right.
absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, anybody else that wants to jump on to the live, I really appreciate it. I really appreciate all the comments. Ados Black, Chris C. I want to shout you guys out. Ronald, thank you for the love. Dolores, who else was on here? Big K. Just a few of the people. I really, really appreciate you guys. So if you want to comment anything, please comment down below. Yeah, wow, we've been on here for about an hour and a half. So yeah, comment down below and let me know if if you thought about I don't know why I always find it so hard to say this word, but repatriating to anywhere in Africa. Have you thought about how difficult that might be, or are you going to be trying to exist within two worlds, living part-time in Africa and then living back here in the United States or Europe or wherever you're from, wherever you live right now? For me, I was saying earlier before I actually shared the chat on YouTube, the live on YouTube, I was actually talking for a while and I didn't know that I wasn't on YouTube yet. But yeah, I was saying for me, it might be a little bit difficult, then it might be also easier than other people. Difficult for me because I've lived in America for over 3 decades. I grew up here in the United States. I came here as a child. So I've become kind of quote unquote Americanized, um, I've become used to the system. I went to high school here, went to college here, and grew up here as an adult. I have a family, wife and kids. So my children are going to be a big factor. Their education, how all that's going to be. Yes, there are good schools in Ghana. There are good colleges in Ghana, but you know it's going to be an adjustment. It's going to be quite an adjustment, different than maybe an African American that might want to move to Ghana. Eventually after they've gotten to know Ghana. I also have family in Ghana on my mother's side and also my father's side. So that's also the family dynamic is going to impact my move there. So all that is different. The different factors that will lead to my decision. But yeah, I really enjoyed the talk on here today. Thank you guys for jumping on this live. I'm going to be trying to do this every Friday night. Did I meet her? Yeah, we met here in the States. Yeah, I didn't know her in Ghana because, like I said, I grew up here. She grew up in Ghana until her early 20s or mid 20s, and then she immigrated to the States. So, yeah, I met her here, and then we have 3 kids. So, it is easy for you. I wouldn't say easy. It wouldn't be easy because I've lived here for so long. Moving to Ghana is going to be a challenge, but it's my home. It's my home. I've lived here for over 30 years now. Semper Fi. USMC. Is that the Marines? I thought Semper Fi was the Marines. Correct me if I'm wrong. From an Army retiree. Thank you, Big K. I really, really appreciate that. I really, really appreciate the love, guys. Thank you for supporting me. Yeah, because this content, it's not easy creating videos because you got to be really creative. But you have family there. Yeah. But that in itself, um, also poses challenges. Yeah, having family there and the expectations that the things that they're gonna expect from you because you're coming from America, so they're gonna expect you to have certain things, because it's difficult. Not everybody in Ghana has it, for themselves. you know, is able to really sustain themselves and live as comfortable as they want to live because things are hard in Ghana. So you go there and you're trying to establish yourself, right? You're trying to establish yourself and do your own thing, trying to make it comfortable for you. But they might be expecting things from you as well. So, because in Ghana, we're really community oriented. So it's not like here where it's more of an individualistic culture, where, once you leave your parents, you're by yourself and you're taking care of you and then eventually your family. But in Ghana, you might have to take care of your family also. Part of the African economy is, what's the word? Remittances. A great part of the African economy is remittances. People sending money back home, to help their parents, maybe paying school fees for their little sister or little brother, so that's all comes into the decision to move back home. So it's not going to be an easy decision, but I think just connecting back with your family, it feels great whenever I've gone to Ghana and I'm around my family, the people that I grew up with that raised me when I was a child. It brings back so many great memories, just like probably for you, if you've lived somewhere else for a really long time and you go back home to visit your mom and dad, and, you're around your aunties and uncles, you start remembering the memories from when you were little. It's not different from, Africans who've lived away for so long and then they go back home. It's the same. We're all people. It's a part of humanity. We're all people, and it just feels the same way. So yeah, but yeah, I love my family. I love being around my family, but it's gonna be an interesting dynamic. Yeah. So yeah, but I appreciate you guys jumping on the live. Is nobody thank you for understanding, Hazel. If nobody else wants to join the live, then I guess I'm just gonna exit stage left, right, left, yeah. Yeah, but I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the support. I continue following me, continuing enjoying my content. School fees, yeah. Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Just all the engagement. Yeah, I really appreciate it from the top of my heart, guys. I'm really, really trying to build this community. And like I said, my mission is to help create different avenues of plugging the African American community into Ghana and extensively Africa. So join the movement, and we can build something. Big K, what part of Africa do you want to move to? Are you planning on moving to? Let me know, and then we'll end the. That's my question. Where? What part of Africa? Africa is 54 countries, brother. Which part of Africa? Rwanda, Kenya. So you're moving to 3 countries? Pick one, brother. All right, guys. So yeah, we're gonna end the live here. East Africa. We're gonna end the live here, the broadcast. But until next Friday, next Friday we're gonna talk about something else. All right. So I'll catch you guys on the next live. My next video, I don't know when it's gonna come out. Sunday, maybe. I'm gonna try to push for Sunday, but if not, it might be Monday. Okay, so you guys stay tuned for that. Thank you all for jumping on the live tonight, and have an awesome weekend. Be safe out there, and I'll catch you on the next live. All right, take it easy, guys.